In many countries, nudity causes outrage. In Scandinavia, it barely causes a reaction. Walk into certain Nordic galleries and you'll see something surprising. Calm faces, quiet observation, and not a hint of discomfort. So why does the human body feel like art here, instead of controversy? The answer isn't rebellion, it's history, it's design, it's trust. And once you understand this mindset, you may start questioning whether discomfort with nudity is natural or simply cultural conditioning. To understand this perspective, we must look to the past. This view is not recent. It is woven from threads that stretch back through centuries of history, myth, and a deep connection to the natural world. The answer isn't a single fact, but the gentle accumulation of many small influences, like layers of rock forming a fjord. Let us begin our walk there, in the distant past. In a museum or a film from Sweden, we are often met with a steady, unflinching gaze. The body is simply present, a form as natural as a tree or a stone. So, why is nudity so normal here? The answer unfolds not in revelation, but in the landscape and the silent language of art. We are not seeking a conclusion, but opening to a different way of seeing. What can we learn from this quiet, open view of the human form? Long before modern nations, the people of the North told stories to explain the world. In Old Norse myths, the body was an instrument of will, an expression of nature. Think of Thor, his strength embodied in his physical form. These stories saw the body as a vessel for. The body was as elemental as the sea, sky, and earth, a fundamental part of existence, not something to be hidden in shame. While Christianity brought new ideas, the old connection to nature endured. Later, artists looked to the classical world, studying the human form with renewed scientific and artistic curiosity. The nude became a subject of high art, a way to explore beauty, heroism, and humanity. In quiet studios and public galleries, people would study the artist's skill and contemplate the stories held within. Have you ever considered how a setting, like the quiet hall of a museum, can change how we perceive an image? The context is one of learning and aesthetic appreciation. Here, a nude sculpture is not an object of desire, but a masterpiece of craft. This tradition created a space where the unclothed body could be viewed with respect, separating the artistic nude from the everyday. This historical context is crucial. It taught that nudity, in the right frame, is a subject for contemplation, not controversy. The past is always with us, shaping how we see the present. Now, let's step into the vast, open landscapes of Scandinavia. There is a sense of space here, an immensity that can make a person feel both small and profoundly free. The relationship with nature is an active force in the Scandinavian psyche. Surrounded by untamed wilderness, the human body can seem a simple, natural thing, just another part of the living world. This is reflected in the tradition of allemansrätten, or the right to roam, which makes nature accessible to everyone. Far from the city, clothing can feel like an unnecessary barrier. This is not about exhibitionism. A direct sensory connection to the environment is key. This freedom in nature may translate into a more relaxed attitude about the body. The low population density in Scandinavia also plays a role. With so much space, there is a different sense of personal boundaries. The body becomes less of a public statement and more of a personal reality. This fosters a view of the body as something healthy, functional, and organic, an instrument for swimming, for living. This perspective, born of the forest and the fjord, is a powerful counterpoint to commercialized views of the body. The land itself teaches a certain honesty and peace with our physical selves. Beyond the landscape, a deep cultural current of trust runs through Scandinavian societies. This isn't just trust in each other, but in public institutions. This social cohesion profoundly affects how people view one another, assuming good intentions and reducing judgment. This trust extends to education. In Scandinavian schools, subjects like health and biology are taught factually from an early age. The body is presented as a natural system to be understood, not feared. Even art classes may include life drawing. This early demystified exposure helps normalize the body, stripping it of taboo. Does it make a difference when a child learns about the body in a calm, scientific light? It's less a loud political movement and more a baseline assumption that all bodies are fundamentally okay. The cultural message isn't about striving for an impossible physical ideal. Instead, the emphasis is on health, functionality, and well-being. A body that can ski, swim, and hike is a good body. This focus on what the body can do is a powerful distinction. This social trust means nudity isn't automatically sexualized. In contexts like a public sauna, beach, or locker room, the presence of unclothed bodies is often seen as completely non-remarkable. It is simply a practical matter. The shared understanding is that this is a non-sexual space. In the quiet spaces of modern Scandinavian art museums, the human form remains a central subject. But here, the focus shifts from the heroic ideals of the past. Contemporary artists use the nude body to explore more intimate themes like vulnerability and the raw truth of human existence. The body is not always perfect. It is real, marked by life and full of stories. In the silence of these galleries, you see visitors standing before a painting or a sculpture, their posture thoughtful. The art is presented with sober respect. A photograph of wrinkled skin speaks not of shock, but of the dignity of a long life. Nudity is often essential, the most honest way to speak about our shared human condition. Northern artists are masters of subtlety, capturing the cool, gentle light of their climate. On a sculpted figure, light creates a mood of introspection rather than drama. It softens edges and reveals textures, inviting the viewer to look closely. In Scandinavian art, this brings a sense of calm and clarity, reinforcing a broader cultural view. The body is treated not as a commodity to be sensationalized, but as a profound subject worthy of serious thought. It asks the viewer to engage on a deeper level, creating a quiet dialogue between artist, subject, and observer. This is art teaching us a new way to look, to see the human in the form. For a visitor from a different culture, the casual presence of nudity in public life can be surprising. A statue a local ignores might cause a tourist to stare in confusion. This reaction is understandable, a result of clashing unspoken rules. This surprise stems from different ideas about what is public and private. In many cultures, the unclothed body is heavily loaded with meaning, associated almost exclusively with private intimacy or commercial sexualization. When it appears outside these contexts, it can feel transgressive. Is this art? An insult? A sexual invitation? The quiet, matter-of-fact nudity of Scandinavia often fits none of these familiar boxes, leaving the outsider feeling disoriented. A visitor's shock isn't a sign of being prudish. It's a sign of being fluent in a different cultural language. To some, it speaks of vulnerability, sacredness, or danger. How does our upbringing influence what we see? Understanding this difference is a lesson in empathy. The Scandinavian view isn't a rejection of modesty, but a different definition of it. By acknowledging different perspectives, we can move from judgment to curiosity. Our first reaction tells us more about where we come from than what we are looking at. Language has immense power to shape perception. In Scandinavian languages, words for the body are often simple, clinical, and direct, not laden with the same heavy cloak of euphemism or shame. Straightforward vocabulary helps neutralize the subject, making it easier to discuss the body objectively. Media representation also plays a crucial role. In Scandinavia, a strong tradition of public service broadcasting results in film and television that treats the human body with a more realistic, less sensationalized eye, showing it in a way that is true to the story. This steady, non-exploitative portrayal teaches us to see the body as a normal part of the human narrative, not just a tool for marketing or shock value. The power of context and silence is key, even in this open culture. There are clear rules and boundaries. Public nudity is confined to specific places like beaches, saunas, and designated parks. Art is framed by the walls of a gallery or the pages of a book. This context is everything, signaling how we are meant to interpret what we see. This careful management of context creates a balance between openness and privacy, allowing for a mature and nuanced engagement with a complex subject. Consider the silence of the gallery, the factual language of the classroom, and the realistic portrayal in film. It's a cultural ecosystem where the frame is just as important as the picture. Context gives nudity its meaning. So we return to our quiet question. Why this calm acceptance? The answer is not one thing, but many, woven from ancient myths, vast landscapes, and a culture of trust that chooses contemplation over shock. This journey is not to judge, but to observe, to listen, to broaden our view. A gentle invitation to look again. See the human body not as conflict or shame, but as a simple fact of life, a subject for art and part of the natural world. For the outsider, the quietness surrounding it offers a moment of peace. In the peace of a silent museum, we can separate the body from the noise in our minds. Look at a form and see the humanity. What if we looked at the human body with the same quiet wonder as a mountain range? The answer lies in the personal encounter, standing before a sculpture, feeling not shock, but a fragile shared humanity. The Scandinavian view is an open door to that thought. The question is for you to hold. What will you see?